ada soalan?
As a crossover?
Yes.
Crossover.
Well, crossover, our timetable, according to our timetable, is still on. It's on schedule, and now it is more attractive after the price hike.
But Kapil Singh said he has no confidence in the crossover. What's your response?
Yeah, under normal circumstances, we don't encourage crossovers, but only when they have absolutely no confidence in the UMNO-led BN and their failure to manage the economy, and being in a state of denial, they're refusing to recognize political and economic realities, and the unpreparedness to undertake reform in the country. The people, including constituents and supporters of UMNO and Barisan Nasional, now realize that the UMNO leaders have reneged on their promise and have burdened their people and failed to manage the economy. There's therefore absolutely no reason, no moral basis for them to remain and support the leadership that has failed the nation.
Dato Sri, do you actually have the 30 MPs in hand for the crossover? More than that. When are you going to announce this?
Well, Parliament is not in session.
So soon?
The next Parliament will be leader of the opposition.
So will you be announcing it then? I mean, is there going to be a motion?
Now, these things, firstly, we have to deliberate at length with the leaders of the Pakatan Rakyat. Secondly, you please appreciate the fact that we have to do it very cautiously and knowing and mindful of the fact that the system is quite repressive in this country. So people who have decided to even talk to us have got to fly very quietly into neighboring capitals just to convey their message, their position. The climate of fear is still in operation in this country. I'm sure you know that.
Dr. Sri, is that why you don't want to give us a clear timetable?
Yes, you are smart. Thank you very much. They say you can be transparent. It's true. But you know, a lot of intimidation, a lot of harassment in the process. And you know, the mainstream media, with the exception of few, started giving some space. Is still bent on having continuing this sort of persecution. So for this reason, we have to be mindful not only to protect the strategy, to ensure that it is effective, but also to protect our friends, the members, other members of Parliament. But I wouldn't have given this sort of assurance undertaking if I'm not confident. And we're also mindful of the fact that people may instigate and incite. You know, the whole idea of talking about now, after 50 years of independence, now I'm no leader talking about Malay supremacy, Malay survival, the Malay agenda. You see that we see the erosion of Malay power and authority. So all these things are coming out and inciting some sort of racist feelings among some among our people. And it is therefore necessary for us to reassure Malays, Chinese, Indians, Philippines, Kadazans that we are here to honor our commitment to all Malaysians and to uphold the principles enshrined in the Constitution. The issue of language, the issue of culture, the issue of Islam and the religion of the Federation, the issue of Malay and Bumiputra rights. Those are enshrined in the Constitution. But so is the protection of all religions and also the rights of all of our people. So I don't think there is any contradiction here.
Dato Sri, some people say that the MPs that might crossover may not sit too well with some of the component party leaders of other parties in the Pakatan Rakyat. What is the comment on that?
From my initial discussions with Keadilan, PAS and DAP leaders, this issue is not considered relevant. They accept the fact and would consider application of anyone who subscribe to the policies and agenda of Pakatan. Political realities here, a multiracial agenda with constitutional guarantees, new economic agenda, all these things. Once they accept this, then we can consider them part of the team.
But Mr. Kapal Singh has been making rather different comments and remarks on this matter.
No, I think you have taken him out of context. In that spirit, he is concerned, and I share his concern, if the arrangement is purely politically expedient, not talking in terms of the agenda. If the agenda is accepted, and the people endorse and accept the fact that this is the Pakatan Rakyat agenda and policies, he doesn't have problem with that.
Dato Sri, allow me to jump ahead of time. What would happen, I mean, if by the deadline, the MPs which are supposed to cross over do not cross over? Would not that affect the party image then?
Why are you so pessimistic? I would say what will be what case Sarah. No, these are. But you know, I've also been. I've said that we have to be cautious. I know people are using very strong racist agenda. I know people are talking even instigating, people to the extent that they maybe even cause instability. They cause maybe we should Malay survival, that this is an attempt to therefore shift the entire spectrum or system from Malay rule to the Malay submitting to non-Malay rule, which I think is a flawed argument. Not only a flawed argument, malicious intent. But you know, there are attempts as expressed through this paper, which means that the agenda is extending beyond a constitutional legal change. So we will have to be cautious of that. I'm not going to risk political stability. I think it's very important for us here in Malaysia to ensure that politically we remain stable. But people cannot use this to hijack the agenda, or even to continue with the system at present. What rationale have you to defend the excesses of the present government? You waste a lot of funds, you have scorned billions of dollars, you don't have a transparent petroleum company, and then you increase prices to this extent, the highest single increase in the world, exceeding even the increase of any oil importing country. You can give whatever economic or political rationalization. Is totally flawed, the arguments. It reflects just a responsibility on the part of the leaders of this country managing the economy. They have failed the economic management. Politically, the message was clear on the 8th of March. Economically, it is now a disaster. That is why we are calling on them to resign.
That's three. Why is it September and not that particular date in September, not October, November, or December? Why? What's the
If I say October, you say why not? Why October? September, come September is a Rock Hudson, Doris Day movie.